Davi-tech Media. Subscribe to Davi-tech Media. Davi-tech Media. Subscribe to Davi-tech Media. Davi-tech Media. Subscribe to Davi-tech Media. Davi-tech Media. Subscribe to Davi-tech Media.
Countrymen and women, I wish to state that it has never been my wish, or indeed the wish of NDC, to respond to the rantings by Mr. Akafumba, Mr. Mumbi and group. Because as far as we are concerned as the NDC family, these people are history in as far as NDC is concerned. We followed the provision of the Constitution. We wrote to them asking them to exculpate themselves, giving them 10 days as a provision of our Constitution. They did not do that. The disciplinary committee sat and recommended their expulsion. At 16 hours the same day, we held a virtual central committee with physical people in attendance 16 and the total people in attendance 27 virtually, where the Central Committee endorsed the decision of the Disciplinary Committee. That is the provision of our disciplinary code. It is now becoming unbecoming that these our colleagues have continued using the name of NDC to make themselves relevant to UPND. I want to warn them that we will not take kind to this kind of behavior anymore. Now, what is disheartening is the fact now they've started being personal, particularly Mr. Mumbi. I'll forgive Mr. Mumbi because Mr. Mumbi is used to insulting leaders from the parties where he's coming from. You remember very well he insulted Mr. Sata 24 hours before on election day that he wanted to be president, Ingaba president, and the following morning Mr. Sata was declared president. When UPND lost the election, he left and said he had resigned from UPND. Now, he wants to gain relevance from UPND using NDC. First and foremost, I need to apologize because when Mr. Mumbi came to join us, everybody in the Central Committee rejected his application that he was a problematic man, he was indisciplined, and
Davi-tech Media.
Trust him.
Subscribe to Davi-tech Media.
Prevailed
Davi-tech Media. Subscribe to Davi-tech Media.
Politics is about numbers, and that's how we accepted Mr. Mumbi's membership.
Davi-tech Media. Subscribe to Davi-tech Media.
Including
Davi-tech Media. Subscribe to Davi-tech Media.
The Central Committee rejected to admit Mr. Mumbi. Today, Mr. Mumbi goes to say that President Hakainde Hichilema of the UPND gave my wife substantive sums of money when I was in prison because we were impoverished and we were failing to buy food. This is an excellent lie. Countrymen and women, I have not been doing my mining business from where I make substantial amounts of money since 2017 when the contracts were terminated. But that does not mean that I don't do anything. For your own information, I am a tracker. I run 14 trucks, which works between Nakonde and the Democratic Republic of Congo, which works between the Copper Belt and the Democratic Republic of Congo. And some of them operate distributing products for many reputable private companies in this country. And for somebody to say I was impoverished when I was in prison is an insult of the worst kind. I want to make it very clear that I've never been broke to the extent of being impoverished. I have invested a lot in real estate. And both Mr. Mumbi, Mr. Akafumba, and all those people that are renting know the number of properties that I've bought where I get rentals. Please stop insulting people like that. I have never been impoverished. I have moved from the level where I was making a lot of money, to a level where I'm making at least money. That does not mean that I'm impoverished. And I'll never be impoverished because I've invested in real estates, I've invested in other businesses. Mr. Akafumba knows that I've been in maize marketing every season. Every maize season, even the last season, I was involved in maize marketing at a very large scale. So to say that I am impoverished is a statement wanting to create an impression that I've been bought by PF, as they are putting it. PF has never given me money. I have never met President Edgar Lungu. I have never met Sunday Chanda, who they say is the one who delivered $500,000 to my house. And in any case, who has ever been bought to that kind, to the tune of 500,000? If people are buying people to pay them 500,000, which is about 10 million today, how many people could have jumped on bandwagons? I can challenge anybody in PF. I can challenge anybody whether they've given me money or bought me. It is just that every political decision I make is well calculated. And from you, my brother, Mr. Akafumba, to claim that, no, I want to go and take over the PF as a president, and that the Bemba chiefs, please stop putting the Bemba chiefs into disrepute. If you have any problem with the Bembas and the Bemba chiefs, please leave my chiefs out of your cheap political propaganda. I will not disrespect you. I will not disrespect Mr. Mumbi, but I think getting to an extent of lying about my family is an insult of the worst kind. Hakainde Ichilema, from the time I knew him, he has never given me not even one ngwe in his life. Neither has he given my wife even one ngwe in all his life. In any case, when my wife came, when I was in detention, when I was in prison, she never even met Hakainde Ichilema one-on-one. She never saw Hakainde Ichilema anywhere, except that at one time he went to the police station when my wife was incarcerated during that time. But my wife never met HH, and HH has never given any member of my family, including my children, any money, including myself. I've been with HH for 3 years. I have never given him money myself. He has never given me money. He's never given my wife money. And if HH is a true leader, let him come out on this and state whether he gave my wife money. Because my wife has never met HH. HH has never given money to any member of my family. Mum, be sure you can call me that I was impoverished. When I was charged 300,000 kwacha cash bail, I paid it myself within minutes. I paid it myself within minutes. How can you call such a man as impoverished? The only problem is that you knew that I was not going to accept the conditions of the UPND alliance, and you started creating a narrative that Kambwili has been bought by PF. I challenge anybody in PF. Nobody, and I mean nobody, has given me money. I just work hard on my own. I just work hard on my own. And when I was saying I have financial problems, this is because I was used to make money at that level. But I'm making money now at this level. That does not mean I'm impoverished. To the extent of failing to buy my own food. What an insult to Mumbi. If you want to talk politics, let's talk politics. But keep my wife out of the politics. Keep my family out of the politics. My children are in the UK. in schools where I pay £9,000 per annum. Nobody has helped me. Nobody, not even a church, has ever paid school fees for my children. And my children have never gone out of school since my mining business were terminated. I have been managing. So to be insulted that I was impoverished is a big insult. Namupapa Tawa Mumbi. Let's talk politics and not insult one another. And for you, my brother, Akafumba, please, Namupapa. I have never communicated to you or talked to you that I'm going to take over PF and the Bemba chiefs. You know what you're trying to do is to try and paint a picture that Kambwili is a bad man. And yet, I am just a politician who wants to save the people of Zambia. And in saving the people of Zambia, I must be reasonable and advise the people correctly. I feel so bad that you, my brothers, can now deteriorate to those levels to start accusing me of things that I don't know, and also insulting my family and calling them impoverished. We have expelled you. Be free and go and join UPND. Why are you insisting on staying on to clinging on to NDC? And what a joke, Mr. Akafumba, that you have written Electoral Commission of Zambia as who? You have been expelled. You are no longer vice president of NDC. You are going to write Electoral Commission of Zambia as who? And who, what platform is Electoral Commission going to give you? These are last kicks of a dying horse. I told you that when we take action, you will see fila muchipingo batila nkoma kachema nempanga shonse shikasalangana. Mr. Akafumba and your group, you have been expelled from NDC. And you are no longer NDC. And from effective tomorrow, if you are going to use the name of NDC, we shall report you to the police for impersonating. And I want to appeal to the Inspector General of Police that these people must not be allowed to hold any meetings in the name of NDC because they are no longer NDC members. And this narrative that you are saying, no, the matter is in court. What matter is in court? There is no stay of execution in the matter that you took to court. There is no stay of execution for the court to direct that I should not be president of NDC. So why should you ask me to stop being president of NDC? And the other matter where you are saying the NDC has no constitution because there is a matter in court. We won the case in the Kabwe High Court, and the government appealed against our the ruling or the judgment of the Kabwe High Court. There is no stay of execution to stop us from doing anything at the Registrar of Societies. We have written the Registrar of Societies to replace you, to remove you from the documents. There is no stay of execution by government that NDC must not operate as a normal registered society. So all these narratives that you are creating are neither here nor there, but I can call them the last kicks of a dying horse. I want to appeal to you, my brothers, that let's respect one another. Let's respect one another.
If you are joining me for the first time, click subscription button and notification bell to be notified. This is Davi-tech Media, updating you. Davi-tech Media. Subscribe to Davi-tech Media. Davi-tech Media. Subscribe to Davi-tech Media.